Great, so welcome everyone to this workshop. Our topic today is assignment, Gradebook, and Speedgrader. First, to introduce ourselves, the ones who are presenting this workshop. My name is Eduardo Rebagliati. I'm the Learning Technology Specialist. And here today are joining me two of my colleagues, Marika and Aiden. You want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. So I'm Marika, an educational technologist with ETS. Nice to meet you all.
And I'm Aidan. I'm the Learning Technology Rover at the ETS. Yeah.
Great.
Nice to see everyone here. Yeah.
Thank you, Marika and Aidan. Of course, we would like to start with a land acknowledgement. So we acknowledge that UBC Vancouver is situated on the traditional and ceded territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. And if you know where you are joining us from, please feel free to share also your land acknowledgement in the chat. Great. So our agenda for today, we're going to be looking at a couple of things. Obviously, as the title implies, it's going to be assignment, Gradebook, and Speedgrader. But the things we're going to be looking at are listed here. So we're going to look at how to set up an assignment, how do we create rubrics, how do we create group assignments, how do we do grade weighting. Also, we're going to talk about the grade posting policy, gradebook organization and management, and then we're going to look at the controls of Speedgrader and a couple of things like that. So it's a very in-depth workshop. Assignments can be very, like creating assignments and working with assignments in Canvas have a lot of possibilities, and they're really interesting and really helpful when you're working with a course. So a couple of weeks ago, we did a workshop on just like Canvas, and we had a couple of minutes on assignments, but we also have this workshop in which we go like into much detail. So it's going to be, we're sure it's going to be helpful for you. Just a reminder that we're going to have a survey. So we'll be sharing that at the end of the workshop, probably before we go into Q&A. And we would really appreciate if you can respond to the survey. It only takes like 2 minutes to do that. Perfect. So let's move on to the workshop now. So we're going to be covering all these points, and it's going to take us about 50 minutes. All right, so let's get started. And the first one, explaining a couple of things, which will be assignment setup and rubric, is going to be Aiden. So Aiden, take it.
Okay, thank you, Eduardo. So I'll just start sharing my screen now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Okay, so can everyone see it here?
Yes.
Okay, so first, we'd like to create an assignment. You can go to the Assignments tab here, if you see on the menu, and you can click the plus assignment here. And you'll see all of this here. You can name your assignment. Let's just name it, say, assignment 0. And you can write a description or your instructions for the assignment. And instructions. Okay. And you can put how many points you'd like the assignment to be worth. Could be like 5, 10, maybe 50 if it's an exam or if it's a large project. Assignment group. So you can actually make different groups for if you have graded assignments or quizzes. You can make multiple groups, and that's how you can organize your assignments. Display grade. You can display the grade as well here, either percentage out of 50, or if you want it to just be marked complete or incomplete, or you can show the number of points. You can also show Canvas letter grade conversion for the percentage of the score as well. And this one's a neat feature. So the submission type, most of the time, if it's an online assignment, you can make an online submission type. From here, you can choose text entry if they're writing just a short answer or a short paragraph. If you want them to submit a PDF or an image or a Word document, you can also click File Uploads. And yeah, we also have media recordings for if you want to send a video through the assignment. Now, if there's actually no online assignment or online submission, you can do no submission or on paper. So on paper would be, let's say, if they take an exam in person in the classroom and there's nothing to submit or scan online, you can click on paper and the student will only see the grade here that you give to them. And no submission is just for more generally, like if it's not an exam per se, if it's just for participation, something like that. You can also make the assignments just a group assignment. We'll cover that in more detail a bit later. You can also have students peer review their assignments. That's maybe a different topic for another workshop. We won't really discuss it right now. And yeah, so you can also set the due date here. And something important about the due date feature is that, oh, okay, so sorry about that. I'll just go back here. Okay. So something about the due date feature is that if you set the due date as say February 5, the assignment will by default only be available until Feb 5, but you can say make it available until Feb 8th, and that will allow for late submissions after the due date. So if you want the assignment or quiz to lock right after the due date, you can set them both the same, like Feb 5. If you're allowing for late submissions, you can set the available date a bit later. Okay, and you can save it here, or you can save and publish. So let's just save and publish. Now everyone in the course can see the assignment here. And yeah, from here you can actually add a rubric to help you with grading. So let's say criteria 1. And so for criteria 1, you can select how you want to divide each of the grades here. So let's say full marks is 5, neutral is 3, 0 is no marks. And you can even add criterion here. So let's say new criterion 2. And right here, you can kind of explain to the students how you'd like to be grading it. So criteria 1 and 2, say like how good the content is, and then criteria 2 would be if the information is organized and all that. And here we have, if you click this, the freeform comments, then you actually don't have the divisions of the score, and you just assess them, say 1 to 5, depending on how you plan to grade the assignment. And then you can just click use this rubric for assignment grading, and later on the Speedgrader, you can actually check out the divisions of the criteria here. And it's a very easy way of grading. Okay. And yep, so you can create rubric here. Oh. Yeah, because the assignment's out of 50, so then we'll just make each 25. And there we go. So then you have a rubric here. And yeah, that's just an introduction of how to make the assignment, the different submission types and all that, and how you can create a rubric.
Great, thank you, Aiden. Now we're going to go into the next part, which is going to be group assignments. But we have a question here. So Aya is asking, what's the question? Can you show us a sample of the rubrics? Yeah, we're going to be looking at that. So when we look at Speedgrader, we'll see how we can use the rubric there. So we'll see it soon. Perfect. So I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to explore group assignments. Okay, so something that usually happen in courses is, of course, that we have group assignments. So Canvas has a really nice feature to set up groups, and that helps the process of marking and having the students working together. So I'm going to show you first how we already have a group here, and then how you can create a group. So in this course, this is like a sample course that we have created. And as you can see, we have like different assignments and the whole thing. And one assignment is a group assignment, as you can see here. So if I go to the assignments and I go into edit to look at the controls, we have all the things that Aiden just explained, you know, the points and the assignment and the description, etc. And we have an option called assignments. Where is it? Assignment, group assignment. Here it is. So here we can ask Canvas to do a group assignment. So that will create that kind of assignment, and then we have to choose a group set. Okay. So what is a group set really? How do we create these group sets? How do we like put together students of a course in different groups? How does that work? How does that work? We do it this way. So the way to create the groups is not in the assignment section, but we have to go into the people section. So when we go to people, we'll see all the students in the course. Here we have like some test students, myself, etc. And you'll see that here in the tab, well, if you're just starting out, you won't see anything except everyone. But as you create groups, you'll see the groups here, actually the group sets, because maybe in the course you have like 3 group assignments. So you'll have to create 3 group sets, and inside of every group set, you'll have the different groups. So let's say we have group assignment 1, which is maybe like a research paper the students are doing together. So we will create that group set, and then inside of the group set, we create the different groups. So in this case, we have group assignment 1, and inside of that, we have group 1 and group 2. So this has been already created. As you can see, group 1 has like these 3 students, and group 2 has these 2 students. So how do we do if we want to create, let's say, like a group assignment number 2, like a group set? And then how do we like put the students in the groups? We do it this way. So first we have to create the group set. So I'm going to go here and click on group set. And I'm going to call this group assignment 2. Okay, so here we have a couple of features, kind of like a login self sign up. That means that students can actually pick the group they want to join. So that could be useful in some cases, but usually our experience is that teachers want to create the groups. So in this case, we'll leave it off. And then we can create the group structure later. So here we'll just click save. So now we have the group set, as you can see. We have like group assignment 1, that's the first one. This is the second one. So how do we create the groups? Because we don't have any groups there yet. We go into groups, and we can start creating the groups, giving them a name. I'll just use something simple. So this will be group 1. And let's create, let's say in this case, we have 3 groups, okay? No 2, not 2, but 3. So I'll quickly create number 2. Perfect. So now I have the 3 groups, and now we can just drag the name of the students into the group we want to put them in. So let's say we want to put these first 2 students in group 1. There we go. If you want to see that, you just click here and you can see the students that are in this group. And we can do the same thing for this one. Oh, and we only have 1 student in group 3. Okay, so that's not really a group, but let's imagine we had another student there. Okay, so we have the 3 groups. And the nice thing is that every time we create a group, we also create like a space for the group. So students will now have like a kind of like a private space in Canvas. And the way we can see that is we go here into the group and we click on these 3 dots and we see visit home, group homepage. So this is kind of like the Canvas page that students can use. So they can use this to create pages or have discussions that only they have access to, or even the teacher can come in here to the announcement section and communicate with them. Of course, the teacher will have access to all of the group pages, but it's a nice way, like it's like a nice way of students having like a place where they can collaborate and work together. And if students want to access the group, it's the same thing. From their end, they're going to go to people and they will see the groups, the group tabs, the group sets. Obviously, they won't see like the feature these like unassigned students because that's not their function, but they will see the different groups, group A and group B, and they will only be able to access the group they belong to. And then they can go here and they can access the page, the share page, and start working there. So then, let's say if we will have to create the actual assignment and connect that assignment to the group set. So that's very simple. We just go into assignment, just creating an assignment, kind of like what Aiden showed us a couple of minutes ago. We will give it a name, a description, the whole thing, and we will scroll down here to group assignment, indicate that this is a group assignment, and then select the group set. Right, so we know, like in this case, we want it to be group assignment number 2. So we'll pick this one, and Canvas will make all the connections. So then, when the teacher goes into marking and Speedgrader, the teacher won't see like all the names of the students. The teacher will only see the group sets, and obviously the group sets are connected to all the students in the gradebook. And that's how you work with group assignments in Canvas. So now we're going to continue with group weighting, and Marika is going to be explaining that to us. Good, Marika. I think we're not hearing you, Marika. Are you muted?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute. Yeah, so now we have all the assignments created. And so for Canvas, how it's calculating the final grade is by adding all the, so you can see here, like there are different points allocated for each assignment. So what Canvas will do is add up all the points that the student get and then divide by the total possible points. And then it will turn into a percentage, and that will be the final grade on Canvas. But if you would like to have a more organized way of calculating the score, what you can do is actually creating groups for your assignment. So, so you can see here, there's like a plus group button. So what you can do is you can see here, we have a list of assignments. So let's say we want to have like a final project as a category, and we want to have the discussion as a category. So what we can do is we create the group assignment group, sorry. So let's say we want to have a discussion and save. And then we have the final project and save. So now you can see there are actually 2 assignment groups created. What we can do is by dragging the assignment into the assignment group. So we drag all the final projects into the assignment group, and then the discussions. Also, you just click on this 8-dot button, and then you can drag and drop the assignment into the assignment group. And so now I think it looks good, or maybe we can also create one for class participation, which is usually not counted as the assignment. And then we can also drag and drop this assignment down here. So now you have all the assignment groups set up. And what you can do is you can create assignment groups weight. So you can click on this 3 dots button on the top right corner, and then there's the assignment groups weight. So by clicking here, you can select the option to weight the final grade based on the assignment groups. Okay, so you can see the default is 100%. So because we initially just have this assignment group, so it's all 100% within the assignment. But let's say we want the final project to weight significant amount for the final grade. So let's say 40. And then we want to have the discussion to be like 20% of the final grade. And then the rest of the assignments would be 30, and then class participation would be 10. So the total would have to be 100%. And so once you have this set up, let's click Save. So you can see that now here at the top right of each assignment group, there's the percentage of how much it weights on the total grade. So you can see all the assignments here. If the student is getting the full points for all the assignment, it will be 30% of their total grade. And it's the same for discussion. If they got all the 3 discussions points in full mark, then they will get 20% of the total grade. And that's how you can like keep your final grade more organized, and you can categorize them by using the assignment group here. And so after we created the assignment group, we can see that in our gradebook as well. So to access the gradebook, you will have to go to the navigation menu, which is on the left-hand side here under grades. So click on this grades. Here you will see all the assignments are, so each column is for individual assignment. And then when you scroll all the way to the right, you can see the 4 assignment groups that we just created. So it's the assignments, discussion, final project, and class participation. So the last few columns are usually the assignment groups. So the individual assignments are listed here. And then, so there are different, so first of all, the most important thing is to, before you actually post any grades on the gradebook, one thing to think about is the grade posting policy. So you can set that up via the setting button here. So on the top right, there's the gear icon. So click on it. And then there's the tab that is called grade posting policy. So there are 2 grades posting policy, which is automatic or manual. So automatically post grades means that once you enter the grades on the gradebook, it will be sent to the students. And for manually post grades, you can post the grades once you enter all the student grades, so the students can actually get the grades at the same time. So we usually recommend manually post grades, but that is one more step that you have to do, which is like posting the grades. So I will show you later. So I will click on, I will select manually post grades here, but it's already selected here. So, okay, and so actually, so that was the setting for the course posting, grade posting. But for individual assignment, you can also set the grade posting policy for individual assignment. So let's say you want this, for this particular assignment, you want it to be automatically posted. So you can just have this set up here for individual assignment, and you just select the policy and then click Save. So this individual assignment grade posting policy will override the default course posting policy. Okay, so there are actually multiple ways you can view or filter the view of this gradebook. So first of all, we can click on this view button, and then there's the drop down. There's the arrange by, and so you can have different settings. So the default is actually how you set the sequence on the assignment page. So the top one will be the most left column, and then the next one would be done on the right hand side of the first column. And then there are like, you can arrange them by the assignment name, due date, points, and modules. And you can also filter them by using the assignment groups, modules, and student groups. And you can also add notes next to the student name. Let's say you have some comments or notes that you have to remember or remind yourself about certain students. You can add this note column next to the student. And then, okay, and then for the student name column, you can also customize it. So you can sort the student by name, student ID, login ID, or in any alphabetical order. And there's also one very good feature is like the secondary info, which you can select group. So remember, Eduardo showed us how to create student group within the people tab. So click here, you can see that the groups assigned for the students is actually shown here underneath the student's name. And I think that is very useful when you grade group projects or maybe discussions or group discussions. And that's how you can select that information to be shown. And then for the assignment column, you can also arrange them other than by the view tab to arrange from this order. You can also drag and drop the column to make changes in the gradebook. So that is a good way to, you can customize the way you want to view the gradebook. And then that's about it for the gradebook. And so when you go to the gradebook, it actually, so the course navigation menu actually will disappear from the left-hand side. So you can't see the home page, you can't see the assignment tab. So where you can find it is clicking this 3-line icon, which we call the hamburger icon. So you click on it, and then it will then show all the tab that we saw for the navigation. And one thing to mention is, so when you have this gradebook visible for student, meaning you don't have this /icon next to the grades, that means students will actually be able to access to the gradebook. But what they will not be seeing all the grades for all the students. They will only see their personal grade. So what they will be seeing is their grade for individual assignments, but not other students' grade. I think that's it for the gradebook. Is there any questions we have? If not, then we can move to the Speedgrader.
Yeah, thank you, Marika. Yeah, and I just wanted to mention that we usually, when talking about the grading posting policy, we usually recommend manual because it's better to release all the grades at the same time. If we have it in automatic, that means that, you know, perhaps you're like marking an assignment like in a couple of days. So if the grades are being released automatically, that means like the first day, maybe you mark 5 students and then those students get the marks, but maybe then they tell their peers that they got the mark and the students are, I didn't get my mark, you know, because it's still, they're still waiting for their marks. So really like working with manual gives you more control. And the thing is that Canvas, it doesn't come with the manual as the you know,
Default.
like as the default. Yeah, so always take that into consideration and go and change into manual. So that will be better. Great. Perfect. So now let's go into Speedgrader. I'm going to share my screen again, and we're going to be looking at that. Yeah, I'll show it right now where it is. Or maybe Marika, you want to show that? Even that it's not
yeah, sure. So to set that up, you click on this gear icon on the top right. So, and then the second tab here, the grade posting policy. So you select manually post grades, and then you click apply settings. Then that will be the default course grade posting policy.
Yeah, and when you want to release the grade, Marika, once we have all the grades and the teacher wants to release them,
that's a good point. Oh, and I forgot to mention the way that you can enter points. So apart from what Eduardo will be showing us in the Speedgrader, you can actually enter points here. Let's say you want to enter 1 point for this, 1 point for this. And then so let's enter everyone's point. And then so there you can see, click on the 3 dots icon next to the assignment title. Then you will have this post grades option. So you click on it, and then it will ask you whether to post grades for everyone or just the ones that are graded. So usually just click everyone and then post.
And that way everyone gets the grades at the same time.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
it takes some time to load, but I think that's
yeah,
that's it.
normally, yeah, I think normally it doesn't take that long, but you know,
yeah,
that happens sometimes. Okay, let's go into Speedgrader
Okay.
now. I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, I think there was a question. What is the icon?
Next to student 2. Let's see. I'll share my screen just a second. Student 2.
Yeah, the second last one.
Oh, this one?
Mhm.
Oh, I think the student has submitted the.
Yeah, I think that means that the assignment
that
has
means
been
the
submitted.
student.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
submitted but
student
not
has
marked
submitted
yet. Yeah,
that's right.
exactly. So it means that there has been a submission, but no grade has been assigned yet.
Right. Okay, back to you, Eduardo.
Thank you. Okay, so now let's look at Speedgrader. So Speedgrader is kind of like a program that is in Canvas that allows you to grade, and it's really helpful. So we're going to look at what are the features and how do we access that. So to access Speedgrader, we have to go into assignments, and we'll have to click into one of the assignments, and then we'll go into Speedgrader for that assignment. So I think the one we have, obviously we need submissions so we can, do the assessment. And I think we had it for one of them. Which one was it, Marika? Was it?
I think it's the top, the summary writing assignment.
Oh yeah, this one, thank you. Okay, so let's say we know that we have received submissions for this assignment. So we go into the course, into the assignment. And now we click on the 3 dots. Oh no, where was it? The Speedgrader?
I think it should be on.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is because
side.
I have like a small window, but normally you would see it on the right. Okay, so I'm gonna just show what that looks like. Okay, so you go into the assignment, and on the right you'll see Speedgrader. Okay, so let me just minimize this. Perfect. So this is the Speedgrader interface. And basically it has 2 parts. So the part on the left, we see the submission. In this case, this is a document. And we have a couple of tools that we can use to grade. I'll show that in a second. And then on the right, we have the window where we will put the grade, and we can also put comments, and we can also use the rubric if we have one. So let's look first at the section on the right. So here we will give the mark. Let's say the student got a 10. We will put that there. If we don't have a rubric, but if we have a rubric, we can actually use the rubric to mark as well. So in some instances, you won't have a rubric and you'll just know the grade and you'll put it, let's say a 10 or a 11, 9, etc. But we can also, from scratch, go to view rubric. And well, we already had comments here because we were doing some testing, but you would find this empty, and then you can leave a comment for each section of the rubric and also assign some points, right? So you put the points there, and finally you go into save. For total points 9. But it seems like this is not like going into the actual final assessment, right? So I think manually we have to go here and just put it there. Okay, so it helps you to mark, but it's not like doing the final marking. So just make sure you go to the top here and put the mark there as well. And then you can have comment, like a general comment, not a comment for the rubric, like for each section of the rubric, like a general comment of the whole assignment. So here we can have something. And then finally, when we click submit, if we have the automatic setting in the grade posting policy, they will immediately get that. And if not, it will be saved. And then when you manually release the grades, they will get all of this. They will be able to see this, I mean, the student. Okay, so this is the section on the right, and you can also like include a file or even like a video or an audio. Perfect. And then we have the section on the left. This is where you will see the submission, and you have a couple of tools to make annotations and different things. So let's look at those. We have like 5 of them. So one of them, this one, is a point annotation. So this allows us to put a specific points and then like in the specific location, and then you can leave a comment there. Something like that. Then the next one is that's the name, the highlight annotation. So you can highlight a section of the text. And same thing, this will give you the ability to leave a comment, connect the comment to the highlight. Then we have, this is probably called the free text annotation. Okay, so kind of like writing freely on the document. Then we have what was the name of this one? Strikeout annotation. Let's say we can select a section like this. Maybe like this was an idea that is not relevant. And maybe you can make a suggestion, like I would suggest removing this part or changing it or something like that. Okay, and finally we have the free draw annotation. This will allow you to just like freely draw on top of the document. And you can, of course, change the colors, the light width, and different controls. Okay, so that's basically all the controls. Oh yeah, and we have this final one. This is the area annotation. So you can just like select like a whole area and then leave a comment there. All right, so that's basically all the features that we have in Speedgrader. A couple of things to mention that Speedgrader, as you can see, we have the tools here for this specific assignment, but let's like move to another one. So here we have another submission, and you can see we don't see the tools. This is because this was a text entry. So when the student submitted, it was not a document, but they used the rich text editor in the assignment submission, and they just wrote something. So when it's done that way, we don't have the controls in Speedgrader. So if you want to use Speedgrader, just make sure that the students are submitting the assignments as a document. And this will read Word, it will read PowerPoint, it will read PDF and other type of files. Okay, let's see the chat. I think we have some questions coming. Great features. Yeah. Thank you, Aya. Yeah, these are really cool features, like we were mentioning. So it really helps you to help students in giving them the comments and like helping them. Great. So that's what was that? 1 second. Yeah, I think that's all for Speedgrader something. So how do we get out of Speedgrader? Because we don't see like an X or anything like that, and sometimes it can be tricky. You just go here to the top left, and this will actually take you to the Gradebook, and so it means you're back into the Canvas interface. Perfect. Let's go into questions and answers, and I'll be responding some of them, and of course Marika and Aidan can also help. So any questions? I think I see we have a question here. So can we check on ChatGPT with the submissions like Chat 0?
So what I meant, sorry to interrupt, Eduardo, is if students are submitting, is there an essay? Is there any way to check to see if they've used AI for the essay other than copying it and pasting it into the Chat 0? I think that's the new tool that's out. Check on.
You mean like if they've been using like some kind of like AI application to create the assignment?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I think like we have a couple of tools that help to validate the actual assignment. I think, Marika, we put into those some of the
It's turn it in.
turn it in. Yeah, so maybe you can describe that a little bit.
Yeah,
No,
but
that's okay. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
not, I'm familiar with Turnitin. I was talking about the
like AI specific
yeah.
detection, right? But
Yes.
I don't think
Yeah.
currently that the tools that are integrated on Canvas is able to detect AI generated paragraphs or sentences.
So then would I be able to copy highlight the entire text, select the text that they have submitted? For example, the assignments that you guys, that last assignment that you shared, it was a paragraph or so.
Mm-hmm.
Can I copy that and paste it into a tool?
Yeah, you can definitely do that.
Oh,
And you can also, like, I forgot to mention that all the submissions can be downloaded as well. So you can, if it was a Word document, you can download the document and you can also copy it from there. And maybe you can, as you're suggesting, work with an external tool and paste it there and do the checkup.
Okay, that's great.
So yeah, that will be one way around it. Yeah, but that's a great question. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. I've just been away from work for this past year, so it's good to see that most things haven't changed, but they've added a lot of good tools. So that was good for me to know. I appreciate you guys offering.
Yeah, that's great. Yes, a good refresher. And also, like, throughout the year, Canvas they do releases of new features. So it's good to know that you're able to understand now what new features you have at your disposal.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Any other questions?
No, you've been great. I wish I had 3 people joining me on my presentations.
Yeah, that would be nice. A big team.
Yeah.
But yeah, this also will be shared. So most likely tomorrow you get a link of the recording if you want to go back to it. And also everyone who will watch the recording know that you can always contact us. So if you have like more questions regarding Canvas or like different things that we maybe did not explain, you can always connect with us and we'll be happy to help out.
Okay, and so I can actually share the recording with my colleagues?
Absolutely, yeah, that's the idea. This is a kind of like resource that now is available for teachers. So we'll be also sharing this on Twitter and on our website so more people can access that.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Great.
I hope you have a
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, you guys. Thanks so much.